Hello, Craftaholics, and if this is your first time here, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Peggy, and welcome to my studio. I don't do a lot of fall crafting, but about a month and a half ago, I was in Michael's, and I found this pad, Fall Orchard, and I really liked it. I like the color of the solids, and I like the images. That's a really pretty pad, even for Christmas, actually. Apples and some pies, and apples, more apples, and pumpkins, and there's only like there's 3 pages of each, but sadly those are the only cut parts that are in there, so they're a little bit hard to figure out how to use. But I love this, but the rest, they're just pretty pages. Oh, and the truck, the locally grown truck, I like him a lot, so I decided to, I was playing around with it the other day, and what I came up with, let me put that aside, reaching behind me. Oh, and if you guys hear noise, I live in a downstairs apartment right now, and they're working on the upstairs one, so there might be some noise. If there is, I completely apologize. But this is what I came up with. And it's just a little mini album, but I thought the purpose would be, like, I'm not really doing Thanksgiving this year because my husband and the puppies will be out on the road. But I thought if you're having company over, you might want to give a little, because everybody takes pictures on holidays. So why not make a little album that they can take home and put their pictures in? So I used that really pretty leaf thing. These stickers are from Hobby Lobby, and they are very dimensional. It's just the same paper on the back, and then just like a dark burnt reddish kind of color. Inside is the same there. Then I took one of the cut parts and I cut it down so they could journal and write about, you know, the year and like maybe what they thought that day. And it's just a couple pictures, a little bit of bling. That's also came from Hobby Lobby. Just a little bit of bling in there, a couple pages, and just room for their photos. So there's room for 5 photos. Just a little something, like I said, that you can give to take home. So let me show you how I made one. It's really, really easy, okay? Very simple. I did use 110-pound cardstock just to give it some stability. So, first thing, 2 pieces. This one is cut down to 6 by 11. Whoop, sorry. I'm trying a new setting and it seems to be a little bit close. Okay. It is 6 by 11. And you put it in on the 11-inch side. And we're going to score at 4 inches. And again at 4 3/4. At 8 3/4. And at 9 1/2. That's the first piece. Put that one aside. The second piece is also 6 inches. It's 6 by 4 inches. 6 inches by 8 1/4. And what I did, I put it in and I scored at 4, and then I turned it around and I scored it again at 4. Just because sometimes mine are off a little bit and like one side will be longer than the other. So just to ensure that the pages are the same size, I did it that way. And that's all you need your scoreboard for. Now remember, on this, I'm hoping this doesn't fall where I have it sitting. Okay, because it'll be loud. Remember, you can also add pockets and flips, and if you want to make them more intricate. I just thought of it like a little favor, basically. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Why are you rolling at me? Jeez Louise. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Grab my bone folder. And we are just going to burnish all of these score lines. Okay. You know, just a little favor to remember the day by. There are your pages. And we are using the Stack the Deck, which was created by Laura Dennison. It's one of my favorite ways to put something together. It's very simple. And I like it that way. Okay. And it might be, you don't have to make your spines as wide if you don't want as thick of a book. But I just thought, let me get it again. I made it to 3/4 of an inch because this way no, you can't see it because you're out of the frame. it will sit nicely on a shelf. So, I know you couldn't really see that because you're looking from the top, but you saw it's that nice and square. Anyway, let me turn this around and let me do these. Like I said, this is 110-pound cardstock that I get at Hobby Lobby. And like I said before, when it's on sale, you can get the 100 sheets for like $7.99 or something. And I did round the corners on the closing flap because I just think it looks nicer. So let me grab my corner rounder. My hand is really sore today. So this is not that simple for me. There we go. Okay. And I also, now my corners are cracking a little bit, believe it or not. That's okay. Not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. I did use a magnet to do a closure. Sorry about the reaching, guys. Let me grab a couple magnets. You don't have to. You can use a Velcro closure if you want to, or you could even use ribbons. Like, you could take some ribbons, and they would be a little bit difficult with this going over this way, but you could put a ribbon here and one here and tie it in a little bow. But I just preferred magnets because they're quick and they're easy. And you get my little glue dots here, my little stand with glue dots. Okay, I'm going to take the, let me get, sorry guys, I don't have everything sitting out here. I just, all right, things are falling. I apologize. It's one of those days. Today has been one hell of a week. How's that? Anyway, let me get some tape. And scissors. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cut just a piece of tape off here. I'm going to pick up a magnet with the tape. And then I'm just going to kind of put it like in the middle. In the middle of the middle. Or as close there as I can get of the flap. Then just take your, oh, well, you have to put it on the other, where'd it go? It's sneaking around. Drop your magnet on, that way you know which way it goes. So they're not fighting each other. And peel off the glue. You don't have to do it this way. You can also take another piece of tape and just put it upside down under it and do it that way. But for me, somehow I found that the glue dots on the one side seem to work a lot better. I'm still going to put tape over it, but it seems to work a lot better for me. Now, I'm going to fold this over because that way it'll line up. It'll line up just right. You can do it that way, or you can fold it over the opposite way, but this is just easier. So just fold it over and fold this over. Boop. There you go. And then I'm just going to take another piece of tape to hold that guy down. Sometimes when I try to just put a piece of tape here, it'll like turn or something, and it ends up not in a good place for me, like in a good spot. Put some tape over that. And now they line up nice and neat. Okay. Let's see. Next thing we need to do is put our pages in. And you can use tape or whatever you would like. I am just going to use some glue. This is barely art glue. I just put it in a different container that's easier for me to handle. And all I'm going to do, I'm not worried about it being perfect. I'm just going to get as close to the middle as I can here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, oh, sorry, discuss it right here. And if this is jumping too much, let me know in the comments and I will change back to the way I was recording things. Okay, and I'm going to line it up the best I can in between those gussets there. Oops. As it moves all over the place. I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to look on this side and see about how much, about 1/4 of an inch there. And a little bit more on that side actually, so let's slide it over a tad. Okay, not that much. It's pretty close. It's pretty close to being the same. you just want to get as close as you can, maybe just a little bit more over that way. There. Just as close as you can, and make sure that it stays nice and square. Okay, we get that. And we got that. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to let that sit aside and dry for just a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to kind of wiggle a bit. So, put my glue, my pin top back in my glue. Okay. And this top I ordered on Amazon. This bottle is actually just from Dollar Tree. But this is from Amazon. And I will, if I remember, I will link it below. It's really, really... Okay, I'm sorry about, guys. It's a really good top. I am going to have to go back to the other setting, I can tell, but I'm mid-video now, so, you know, I can't do it unless I start the whole thing over again, and I don't want to. So anyway, it shouldn't be that hard to deal with. Okay, now, I'm just rambling. Sorry, guys. So I have cut out my pieces already, and this is, let me put that aside. This is, if you want to pause and take a screenshot, these are all the dimensions that you need for your papers inside and outside. And I have, for the outside, let me turn this, I think it went this way. I cut some paper from the page with all the pies for the front and back. And then this is going to be for a flap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide... I think I want, because the way I cut it, I have a little bit wider gold strip here, but I need to cut, because we rounded the corners on this piece, I need to round my corners on this also. Ugh. Gosh, that hurts. Okay, there are those. And then these two pieces are for the spines. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and put these pieces on first, get them out of the way. I'm going to move this out of the way. But these are the two that are 5 7/8 by 3 7/8, and I do those measurements because I only like about a 1/16 of an inch border. If you like more, then cut it back down to like it would be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. But like I said, I only like an 1/8 of an inch, so I'm only taking off a little bit here. I mean, I like a 6. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, guys. Anyway, take the tape off, and I'm gonna use, sorry, I didn't mean to squeak there. I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac to put everything down, just because it gives me a little more wiggle room. And I'm trying to line this up so it looks nice and even. For me, Fabri-Tac works the best. So I don't have a lot. Just went around the sides. I don't know if you can see it. Oop, there we go. Okay. Then I'm going to start on the side without the magnet since I already have exposed tape there. And I'm going to try to line it up the best I can. Up and down on the sides. And make sure, if you have a pattern, make sure the pattern's up right before you go ahead and start to push it down there. And then over the magnet, you might want to rub like around it just to make sure that your paper sticks down there. Okay. And then we'll unfold it this way. Now and then this one is going to go on the back, so we'll put that one on the back. Or the bottom. Back, bottom, you know. Like I said, again, I'm sorry if you're hearing noises from upstairs, because every once in a while there's a pretty loud bangs coming from up there. Okay. There's that piece. And you can always close up your book just to make sure everything is lined up where you would like it. Looks good. Okay, now we have our flap. I'm putting the bigger pieces down first. And then I'm going to decide, because when I cut it, I end up with different colors. I have more pieces for like on the inside, but these are ones I cut for out. I ended up with different colors, and I want to see what color I want to use where. Like next to what piece. Okay. And there's that one. Just double check, make sure. Yep, looks good. Okay. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, since that's the green, I think I'm going to put, you know, let me see. Maybe I'll just do green outside, because they have other pieces for inside as well. Here, let's see. Yeah, what if I do it that way? I'll do green, all green on the outside. That'll work. And that'll look good. Okay. And you can, I mean, you could try to match it up if you want to. They're from different parts in the paper, so the lines aren't going to match up like exactly. Let's see. Like I said, let me know about the jumping if it's, because I'm not really looking at the monitor that much, but I try to use this camera setting because it gave me a little bit clearer of a picture than it's been. I'm just having, where I am right now, where I'm living, it's, the lighting really sucks. And I have lights. I have 2 different lights on me, but for some reason, it's just, the overhead light itself is so bleh that it makes it really hard. I'm going to get some new lights, but, and for some reason, it's making the picture dull looking. So just let me know how bad it is, or if it is bad. And I know it did jump a couple of times that I looked up, but like I said, I'm not looking up constantly, so be sure to let me know. Okay, now let's turn this over. And this is, I'm going to wait on this one. I'm going to put, in the other one, I had the one card here. But I'm just going to put solid on the inside of this one. And that looks a little bit long, actually. I wonder why they're longer. I think I probably misjudged. Let's see. Are they all the same? Apparently I did them all at 6 inches, so I need to cut them down a little bit. Hold on, let me... Oh, goodness. All right, let me attempt to get my... my paper trimmer up here. Okay. Wow. That is not easy. Okay. I'm just going to take them 2 at a time. It was supposed to be... you know what? I lined it up at the wrong spot. Alright, it was supposed to be lined up here, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that's how I ended up with just a little too much paper. I just lined it up at the wrong spot. No big deal. No big deal. It can all be fixed. Okay. Yeah, I lined it up at 6 inches instead of at the near 5 7/8, like kind of close to that. It's hard to tell on this because where I had to put washi down where the 6 inch mark is. So anything past like 5.5 to 6, you lose it. So I'm just lining up. There is a line here on my cutter that these can kind of bump up next to, and that's where I'm cutting, which comes pretty close to like 5 7/8, I believe. So, yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry, jumping. Sorry. Okay. Let's try this again. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Grab one. Oh, look at that. Much better. Okay. Yeah, I'm just doing the solid inside this one. It'll actually also gain another spot for pictures. So the recipient can put like 6 pictures in this one. But it is whatever you would like to do, because it is your project. Okay. And I was going to use a paper collection I just got from Knitwit, but I figured I would not, just because I know some of you don't have a way to maybe print them out, or don't have like a Cricut to cut the pieces out, like the, you know, ephemera pieces. So I'm trying to just use the paper pad for this one. And I actually fussy cut some of the images out off some of the papers and cut aparts and things. Not much, because it really hurt. That's why my arm is hurting so much right now, because it's not easy to cut when you're sore all the time. But okay, now there's a little gnat flying around. Okay, for the inside, well, since okay, here I keep saying okay. Since I have the red and green piece, I'm gonna put the red here and this piece here, which now I need to round the corners just like I did on the other one. Ow, that hurts. Okay, take this off. And I'm sweating, and I know I have a sweater on, but I'm very self-conscious of my arms and hands, so that is why I wear a sweater all the time. Even though here in Texas where I am, it's very warm, I'm just very self-conscious. So, sorry guys, if it bothers you that I'm wearing a sweater, but okay, let's put that piece down. This, I like, it kind of looks Christmassy, I know, but when we're done, it'll look more Thanksgiving-y. There, we just made up a new word. Thanksgiving-y. And when you're doing something like this, try to make sure, and I hope mine are, that your pages, the papers you're putting down, try to make sure they all line up. Because if you have one, if they're off a lot, like a little bit is one thing, but if it's off like an 16th or 8th of an inch, it's going to be noticeable, and it's really not going to look very nice. So try to make sure everything is lined up nice and neat. Okay. The other strips I have, oh, sorry. These are 5 7/8. Everything is 5 7/8 tall. This is 1 3/8 inches. And these are 5/8 inches. I'm sorry. I just looked at my sheet and went, oh crap, I forgot to say. Okay, let me get these out of the way. Sorry, guys. All right. But again, we've got all of the pages, even the front cover, they're all 5 7/8 by 3 7/8. Again, this is 5 7/8 by 1 3/8. And then we have 5 7/8 by 5/8. Okay. And again, yours will be a little bit smaller on the width size if you want more of a border, and it'll be a little bit shorter if you want more of a border around. But I just like the way this looks. I like the least amount of like white showing. If it was craft cardstock, I probably wouldn't even put these pieces in, because craft would meld really nicely with the colors. But I only have white in 110 pound right now, so sorry about that, guys. Okay. Inside, on each of the little gussets here between the pages, I have cut 3 pieces, and it was not easy. Let me tell you. These are, like I said, everything is 5 7/8. These are 3/16 wide. And I have 2 red and 1 green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a red one here, a green one in the middle, and a red one there. So again, it's just to cover that gusset. You don't have to. And again, if I was using like another color, I wouldn't. And you don't need to use the 110 pound if you don't want to. You could probably go down to 80. And there's also some other cardstocks out there, like at Walmart. They have some, it's a package of craft cardstock, and it's thicker than 65 pound. It's like kind of between 65 and 80. And that would be fine for this. It'd be a little bit stronger once you get your page covers on, you know, your cover pages. But it would be fine for this. I just like the 110 pound to give me that stability so it can stand up nice and tall on a shelf or a mantle or table or whatever. Here's my last little piece of red. Okay. Okay. For the pages, let me put that on there. My glue is bubbling over. There we go. I don't need the corner runner anymore. For the pages, I did like this really pretty burgundy and like a lighter, very autumny colors. And I thought I would do, I know it looks Christmassy. Sorry. It's just the colors on the pad. Thought I'd do the light one, then dark, light, dark. So let me put these down, and then we'll do a little bit of decorating. Like I said, it's a pretty quick project, but it's just a nice little memento for your guests, you know. And I mean, and even if you wanted to, maybe not give them on Thanksgiving, if you take a lot of photos, you could actually print out the photos yourself, put photos in the books, and then send them to your friends or family, whoever happened to be there that day, whether it's a Friendsgiving or a Thanksgiving or whatever. But I just thought, you know, something they could take home with them that day, and then they can put the pictures in. Or heck, you could even send them the pictures and they can print them out and put them in or whatever, you know. You do you when it comes to this kind of thing. Can I have a little bit of glue seepage there? I'm going to reach, guys, sorry. Let me use my adhesive eraser. And again, this is just one from the Dollar Tree. Like I said before, a few times, I've also had the expensive ones. It works just the same. There's really no difference. So just spend the $1.25 for the one from Dollar Tree. It'll do just as good as the expensive one. Because the first one I had, I think I paid like $6 for it on Amazon because it was the cheapest one I found. And don't do that anymore. But, and like I said, they work the same. So no need to get really expensive there. Okay. And I do like with the different colors, it just, a little bit of contrast there. And let's do our last page cover here. And I know I'm off thing. I'm just putting glue on paper. It's nothing exciting. Okay, it's our last one. And okay, like I said, you can make it thinner. You can also make this wider. And add more pages if you want to. I just was thinking of it as just like a little memento. But if you are going to take away or add, the numbers to keep in mind are, you want I made a quarter of an inch, a quarter of an inch, and then a quarter of an inch to give room, in, you know, in case pictures stick out, you want to put something else in there or whatnot, or even add, like I said, pockets or flips or whatever. You could probably go down, I wouldn't go down more than like 3/16 because you really need a good solid gusset in between. But remember, if you're adding pages, you're going to add on a 1/2 inch because your other pages would be sitting here and here, so you needed a quarter of an inch on each side. So there is that. Or if you only want one page in the middle instead of these two, you could actually make this a 1/2 inch gusset. Cut your piece of cardstock the 6 inches high by 4 1/4, and then score it at the 1/4 inch and line up. I'm hoping this makes sense. say if this was the back of the album, you would line up that 1/4 inch right to that fold, so you have only one page flopping, and you have that gusset there, and then your album would close that way with, like, you know. So it can work. Anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to business. This is what we have. It's already really cute. But like I said, I have, let me see. From Hobby Lobby, I have some of these, well, everything. I don't know, why is it when you put gems in something, mostly you get the backs. These gems are in like burgundy, green, and yellows. And I just put them in this jar because they came in a plastic bag and there's no way to seal it. I also have these little buttons that I got from them, little button stickers at Hobby Lobby. I have ribbon too, but I haven't even opened it yet because I've not used it yet. But you could. It's really, really narrow ribbon. So. And I also took, like I said, off of some of the cut-aparts. I cut pieces out. And I also cut out of one of the pages, I cut the little pie pieces out. I thought maybe we could use those for decorations if we wanted to. But, you know, he doesn't show up that great on there, does he? It's not too bad. He's not too bad on there. So you could actually put the little pie on the front. I was thinking the pie or one of the green. You know, I think the pie is cuter. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think I should have put on here. I'm just going to put the little pie down there, and I'm just going to use regular, my Barely Art Glue. And it doesn't matter what brand you use. I also used to use Art Glitter Glue a lot, but the reason I switched to Barely Art Glue is, and I think this has a little bit longer of wiggle room. It stays wet a little bit longer. Let's see. Let me kind of fold that down. There we go. And also, if you live in an area that gets cold, now like I said, I'm in Texas right now. But I have lived in, well, even in Arizona, it got cool, but I used to live in Tennessee, and I've lived in Pennsylvania. Art Glitter Glue, sorry, there's a lot of noise, I'm sorry, cannot be shipped when it's cold, because if the glue freezes, it's got to be thrown away. It's useless after that point. But Barely Art Glue, if it freezes or gets really hot, it's still fine. If it freezes, you thaw it out, it works just like normal. So I like it because it can be shipped any time of the year, and I think that's pretty awesome. So let's see, let me pour a couple of these little gems out here. Why do they always fall upside down? Does anybody have a reason? I guess because it's heavier on that side. That would be the reasoning. I don't like the yellow. Let's see. They're being very loud upstairs, so if you can hear it, I apologize. Let me pour them out here. I'm just going to make a mess. What the heck? And are you guys neat crafters or messy crafters? I just like everything out where I can see it and touch it and whatnot. So let me know in the comments, messy or clean crafter. It doesn't matter. I am not judging at all. Mama, don't judge. Okay, let's see. Oh, come on. There's got to be a burgundy one here somewhere. I thought I saw one falling. All right, let's find something else in the. It's not burgundy, but it's like a really dark amber. I guess would be good. I don't know if I'm liking a gem on with the pie or not. Let's see. Definitely not that one, because that's a yellowy one. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure if I want a gem with the pie or not. And I don't think so. All right. All that for nothing, right? So we're just going to leave the little pie on the front. Then when you open it, some of these were from cut-aparts, like up in the corner. So like on this one, I'm going to put it, I'm only going to glue it in up in the very corner. Because once, okay, this way, when you add the photos, if you want to stick the photo part of it underneath, you can then glue it down on top of the photo. But this way it'll leave room so you can slide the photo up underneath it. Okay. Now that was the front. I also cut this guy out. I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to use him or not. You know what? Mayhap on the back here. How's that? But again, I'm going to leave him, I'm going to glue this part down because the stem is really, really thin. But I'm going to leave this open so you can tuck a photo in. And again, you can either just tuck it or you can glue it down onto the photo. Okay, and I'm going to line him. It was like from the edge of something, so I'm going to line the edge right up like that and glue that down. I know I have some glue seepage, but I have my eraser, which will take care of that. Hopefully, sometimes it doesn't work as well on the white glue as it does on like Fabri-Tac or something, especially with dark paper, because dark paper stains really, really easily. But there you go. Like I said, now you can still tuck the photo in, and then you can glue it on or just leave it as a tuck. Let's see, what else do I have? I think we'll put this one coming in from up there. Again, just doing the corner. Oh, sorry guys. Just doing the corner. And I have another pie. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I think I may just use some of the gems now. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, why is it all the gold ones that fell out? They're the ones I didn't want to use that much. Okay. There's like an, well, it's a very large amber one. Let's see. It's like a medium amber. Let's see. And I don't, with me, I do not have a picker tool to pick up the gems with. But at Dollar Tree, sometimes you can find, Elf had a, oh, that is right on there. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Elf makes an eyebrow, like a wax pencil. It's white, and they sell it at Dollar Tree, and it works really, really well for picking up gems and sequins and things. So they don't always have them, but if you, when I see them, I usually pick up like 3. But I just don't have one handy with me right now. I'm just gluing these on. So I know I'm not in the center of the frame. I apologize for that. Look at him. He went right in the glue instead of on the glue. Wipe that off a bit. So remember, guys, what do I say? It's only paper. You can always put another piece right over this if you had to. If you got too much schwitzy from the glue. Okay. They will just need to dry a bit. And then, yeah, I'm just going to leave that one plain. It does, not everything doesn't need something on it. But there you go. Just 2 pieces of cardstock, and some cover papers, a little magnet, and there you go. Cute little gift to have your family or friends take from Friends or Thanksgiving. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please, please, please give it a big thumbs up. And also share it with a crafty friend. That way more people find out about me and my wonka-noodleness. Is that a word? It is now. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I can only do it with your help. And I guess that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.